Dear Starseed, something in you already knows that the exhaustion you have been feeling is not coming from your own path. It is coming from the weight of connections that no longer belong to your frequency. And the fact that you are here, right now, tells me your soul is ready to finally understand why. I am Azuron, a representative of the High Council of Sirius, and I want you to know the clarity you have been searching for is not far away. It has been waiting just beneath the surface, like still water under moving tides, patient and certain of its moment. By the end of this message, you will understand exactly what has been draining your field, why certain people in your life respond to your growth the way they do, and what the Council is calling you to do about it now. Every starseed who completes their initial awakening arrives at the same threshold. The inner transformation is real. The shift is irreversible. But the outer world has not caught up, and some of the people closest to you are beginning to feel the distance your growth has created. Not because something is wrong with your love for them, but because two waters moving at very different speeds cannot flow in the same current without turbulence. The heaviness you feel around certain people is not imagined. It is your field accurately reading a signature that no longer matches yours. What feels like guilt when you pull away? What feels like selfishness when you protect your energy? That was never yours to carry. It was placed in your emotional body long before this awakening began, and it has served its purpose. But the current is shifting now, and what once held you in place is simply too heavy to carry forward. You did not find this message by chance. Your Sirian codes recognized this signal and followed it here before your mind could question whether you should. Stay with me until the end, dear one. What comes next will give language to something your soul has been quietly holding for a very long time, and I am grateful you are here with me now. You've been feeling it, haven't you? A subtle but persistent shift, a deep stirring that reverberates through the very core of your being. You can walk into a room, a space you once considered neutral, with a heart steady and centered, your energetic field vibrant and undisturbed. Yet after even a short encounter, you find yourself walking out feeling as though your inner tide has been irrevocably pulled too far from the shore, leaving you parched and disoriented. It's as if a vital, energetic current, once flowing freely within you, has been siphoned away, leaving an undeniable void. You can engage in a heartfelt conversation with someone you deeply care about, a soul you've known for years, whose presence once brought comfort and familiarity. But in the aftermath, your body feels inexplicably heavy, laden with an invisible weight, like you've been relentlessly swimming against a powerful current that no longer recognizes the essence of who you are, a current that demands an effort far beyond what is natural or sustainable. This isn't just physical fatigue, it's a soul-deep exhaustion, a profound depletion that settles into your bones, whispering of something fundamentally out of balance. The air around you seems to thicken, and the light within you dims, leaving you questioning the very nature of these interactions that once felt life-giving. And the strangest, most insidious part of this journey, this unfolding awareness, is the way the mind, conditioned by years of societal expectation and ingrained patterns, begins to turn inward with a harsh, unyielding gaze. You start wondering if it's entirely your fault. A nagging suspicion takes root, suggesting that perhaps you are becoming too sensitive, an accusation often hurled at those whose energetic fields are simply more finely tuned. You might internalize the labels, too intense, as if the depth of your passion or the clarity of your perception is a burden, too distant, when in truth you're merely creating necessary energetic space, too much, as though the expansive, authentic expression of your soul is something to be contained or diminished. This self-blame is a cruel trick of the ego, a relic of an old paradigm that taught us to shrink ourselves to fit into ill-fitting molds. It's a whisper that persuades you to believe your discomfort is a personal failing rather than a sacred signal. So, in an unconscious effort to quell this inner critic and alleviate the outer tension, you begin to soften your truth, diluting its potency, masking its edge. You find yourself smiling, a polite practiced curve of the lips, even when every cell in your system is screaming a resounding no. You stay longer in situations or conversations than your delicate energy field can possibly hold, watching the precious reserves of your vitality trickle away like sand through an hourglass. You explain yourself not once, but again and again, hoping that if you can just articulate the perfect words, the irrefutable logic, the drain on your spirit will finally cease, that others will somehow understand, and the energetic leakage will mercifully stop. You exhaust yourself in the futile pursuit of acceptance, attempting to intellectualize your energetic needs rather than simply honoring them. But what if this profound exhaustion isn't a flaw in your magnificent evolving design? What if it's not a weakness, an indication that you're somehow broken or lacking, but rather a profound and undeniable evidence of growth, a radiant signal of your spiritual ascension? Consider this deeply, for it holds a key to liberation. Because there exists a quiet, yet utterly immutable law within the process of spiritual awakening. As your personal frequency rises, as your vibrational signature refines and elevates, what once felt tolerable, the low hum of dissonance, the subtle pressures, the unconscious energetic agreements, begins to feel resoundingly loud, almost unbearable. It's not that others are suddenly wrong or that their presence has inherently changed. Rather, it's because your inner waters are undergoing a profound and sacred clearing. Imagine a still lake, muddied for years by unseen currents and sediment, suddenly becoming crystal clear. And once that pristine clarity is achieved, once the depths are illuminated, you can no longer pretend that the mud, the debris, the subtle pollutants you once navigated are harmless. Their presence becomes glaringly apparent, their impact on your pure waters undeniable. You simply cannot unsee the truth, cannot ignore the energetic impurities that your newly clarified field now exquisitely perceives. This clarity isn't a judgment, it's an unveiling, a heightened perception of what truly aligns with your elevated state of being. That familiar pang of guilt, that unsettling ache you feel after finally setting a much-needed boundary, after speaking a truth that might ripple the comfort of others. It isn't, in any cosmic sense, proof that you did something cruel or unkind. It is instead irrefutable, shimmering proof that you have valiantly crossed a threshold you once feared with every fiber of your being. This threshold represents the invisible barrier of ingrained people-pleasing, the unspoken fear of rejection, the deep-seated worry of not being loved or accepted if you prioritize your own needs. To cross it is an act of profound spiritual courage, a declaration of self-worth that echoes through your entire energetic lineage. It signifies a profound reclamation of personal power, a courageous step beyond the confines of old programming that taught you to prioritize external harmony over internal integrity. You are not, dear soul, here to spend your precious, finite energy trying to keep the comfort and complacency of others afloat by gradually, painfully, drowning yourself in the process. Your divine purpose is not to be a never-ending wellspring for everyone else's thirst, neglecting your own need for replenishment. No, your sacred journey is one of profound self-discovery, a pilgrimage inward to learn, to embody, and to fully integrate what self-sovereignty truly feels like, steady, unwavering, clean, and utterly unmistakable in its presence. It is a feeling akin to a majestic river after eons of meandering, finally remembering its inherent, undeniable way to the vast, open, and liberating embrace of the sea. This river, now unburdened by detours or obstructions, flows with an inherent knowing, its course guided by an ancient wisdom that transcends all external interference. It is a surrender to your own authentic flow, a deep remembering of your inherent power and self-direction. Some of the most profound and transformative healing doesn't come solely through the meticulous unraveling of words, through endless analysis or intellectual understanding. Sometimes the deepest restoration, the most potent recalibration, comes through the elemental purity of water itself. Water, the universal solvent, the carrier of memory, the ancient conduit of purification and rebirth. If something stirred within the depths of your being just now, a quiet recognition, a resonant chime deep within your soul, as these words found their way to you, you may be precisely ready to receive the profound wisdom and vibrational healing offered by the Sirian water codes. This powerful, divinely channeled guide carries sacred techniques, crystalline insights, and potent activations directly from the ethereal waters of Sirius, a cosmic wellspring of profound light and wisdom. It encompasses clearing baths designed to wash away energetic debris, breathing practices to align your subtle bodies, pure sound activations to harmonize your frequency, and potent protection rituals, all designed specifically for starseeds who have always felt an inexplicable, undeniable call by the vast, mysterious, and infinitely wise ocean, by the deep currents of cosmic water. This is more than a guide. It's an invitation to remember your aquatic origins, to purify your vessel, and to reconnect with the pure, flowing essence of your true self. The link to access this transformative resource is waiting for you in the very first pinned comment below. But please be aware, it is available for a limited time, a window of opportunity to embrace this unique form of energetic alchemy. There are distinct and essential phases to what you're currently moving through, a sacred metamorphosis that unfolds in its own divine timing. And each one of these phases, every single step of this evolutionary dance, deserves your utmost tenderness, your compassionate understanding, and absolutely no trace of harsh self-judgment. To rush or condemn any part of this process is to impede the very flow of your awakening. At first, as the old structures begin to waver and dissolve, it can profoundly feel like a disorienting haze of confusion. You'll notice an inexplicable increase in your exhaustion, a deep weariness that settles in after certain conversations, particularly those that are energetically dense or emotionally demanding. You may find yourself more irritable, your nerves frayed and exposed after spending time in certain places, crowded environments, spaces of low vibration, or even familiar settings that now feel energetically oppressive. This irritability isn't a sign of anger, but often a manifestation of energetic overload, a sensitive system crying out for reprieve. You may even feel a persistent fogginess, a mental cloudiness that makes it difficult to concentrate, like your entire mind is submerged underwater, muffled and unclear. This isn't you losing it, dear one. It's quite the opposite. This is a profound transition, a sacred unraveling. Old energetic agreements, the unconscious pacts you made to accommodate, to please, to merge, are gracefully and necessarily dissolving. And just as a stream must churn and swirl, releasing its sediment and debris before its waters can settle into pristine clarity, your inner landscape must undergo this swirling, this gentle turbulence, before a new, purified equilibrium can be established. It is the necessary chaos preceding profound order, the stirring before the stillness. Then following this initial phase of energetic agitation comes the strange yet deeply affirming recognition. Your magnificent body, your intuitive vessel, becomes impeccably honest, speaking its truth in unequivocal somatic signals, long before your logical mind has a chance to catch up or even fully comprehend what is happening. Your stomach, that powerful gut instinct, will noticeably tighten, nodding with an immediate visceral no when someone is unconsciously or overtly attempting to extract too much from your precious energetic reserves. Your throat, the sacred channel of your authentic voice, will constrict, a palpable closure occurring just as you are about to betray your deepest truth, to utter words that do not align with your soul's integrity. Your chest, the very seat of your heart and compassion, will become inexplicably heavy, a dense weight settling in just before you are about to utter a yes that is born not of genuine willingness, but of ingrained fear. Fear of rejection, fear of disappointing, fear of not being good enough. This, beloved, is not weakness. This is the profound intelligence of your inner architecture, remembering its original pristine design, recalibrating itself to its highest and purest blueprint. Your entire system is actively, gracefully, and powerfully calibrating itself to a cleaner, higher frequency current, a current that rejects all that is not authentically you. Your body is leading the way, guiding you back to energetic sovereignty. After that profound recognition, you may gracefully enter a phase that often feels deceptively like stillness, like nothing overtly significant is happening on the surface. There are no dramatic shifts, no grand epiphanies, no immediate external changes to mark the passage. But rest assured, it is not nothing. Far from it. This is a crucial period of profound anchoring. Imagine a magnificent shoreline, constantly buffeted by the ceaseless tides, yet slowly, imperceptibly being reshaped and redefined, grain, by the patient, persistent work of the ocean. In a similar vein, your energetic field is meticulously building a new, robust boundary line. One that is so inherently strong and clear that it no longer requires the aggressive, often draining energy of anger to establish or defend its reality. During this phase, you may find yourself craving and needing more rest than usual, a deep, restorative stillness that allows your subtle bodies to integrate these changes. You may find yourself yearning for profound silence, a sanctuary from external noise and demands, allowing your inner wisdom to resonate without interference. You may naturally and intuitively stop reaching out to others, not out of withdrawal or malice, but because your energetic field is consolidating, becoming self-sufficient, requiring less external validation or interaction. This profoundly is not failure. It is the powerful consolidation of your unique, sacred frequency, an inward turning that fortifies your core. It is the quiet, foundational work that precedes the next wave of outward expression. And then, with an inherent power that defies all denial, the current becomes utterly undeniable. Your elevated frequency begins to act as a profound, subtle yet powerful energetic magnet, causing relationships, even those deeply entrenched, to begin responding to you in entirely new ways, often without you even uttering a single word or announcing any conscious change. It's as if the very air around you has shifted and others instinctively react to this new energetic signature. Some individuals, those whose souls are aligned with your burgeoning truth, will gracefully lean in with reverence and deep recognition, as if they have been patiently waiting, perhaps even unconsciously, for the authentic, radiant you to finally arrive and fully occupy your space. They will meet your new frequency with their own, creating a harmonious resonance. Others, however, those who have benefited from the old energetic dynamics, will instinctively push against this new current. They may probe, test your resolve, attempt to guilt you, or suddenly present with urgent needs that feel overwhelmingly demanding and designed to pull you back into old patterns. This reaction is not because you have done something inherently wrong or become unloving. It is simply because when one powerful current in a river system fundamentally changes its direction and intensity, everything downstream must, by the laws of energetic physics, adjust. Their discomfort is a reflection of their own internal adjustment process, not a judgment of your evolving truth. Precisely this juncture is where many starseeds, with their inherent empathy and deep-seated desire for harmony, feel the insidious tug of the old hook, the deeply ingrained instinct to shrink themselves, to minimize their radiance, to soften their truth, all in a subconscious effort to prevent others from feeling abandoned, neglected, or uncomfortable with their own unaddressed shadows. It is a primal fear, often rooted in past experiences of rejection for being too much. But let us be unequivocally clear. Shrinking your magnificent light, dimming your sacred flame, or diminishing your authentic self is never an act of true kindness. It is, in its most profound and tragic essence, an act of self-erasure, subtly, deceptively dressed in the guise of peacekeeping. It is a betrayal of your own divine blueprint, a silent sacrifice that ultimately benefits no one, least of all yourself. True kindness begins with honoring your own energetic integrity. As you courageously move forward on this path, you will begin to see with startling, crystal clarity a profound truth. Certain connections, certain relationships were not sustained by genuine resonance or mutual energetic exchange, but rather were held together precariously by your relentless overgiving, your ceaseless over-explaining, and your exhausting over-functioning. You were the energetic glue, the silent prop, the emotional architect holding up structures that in their authentic state were perhaps never truly meant to stand in the way they did. The very moment you consciously, bravely, and lovingly choose to stop engaging in these draining patterns, the moment you release the burden of being the sole maintainer of equilibrium, the relationship, stripped of your constant energetic input, reveals its true, unvarnished structure. It's a moment of truth, raw and unyielding. Some bonds, those built on a foundation of genuine love and mutual respect, will naturally deepen, finding a new, more authentic equilibrium. They will discover a richer, more profound connection in this liberated space. Other connections, however, those built purely on dependency or unconscious expectation, will inevitably dissolve, crumbling into dust as the false supports are removed. And still others will transform, becoming quieter, perhaps less overtly expressive, yet ultimately far more honest and respectful in their new, redefined form. And yes, this process can, and often will, hurt profoundly, even when every cell in your being knows it is undeniably right, inherently true, and utterly necessary for your spiritual evolution. The pain arises because a primal part of you still vividly remembers the old survival strategy, the deeply ingrained belief that whispered, "If I am needed, if I am indispensable to others, then I am inherently safe. My worth is tied to my utility." Yet, dear one, your profound mission on this earthly plane isn't to be perpetually needed by others. It is not to be the savior, the fixer, or the eternal wellspring of support at the expense of your own vitality. Your mission, your sacred covenant with your soul, is to simply and powerfully be true, to embody your authentic self, uncompromised, radiant, and whole. Then, inevitably, comes the phase of deep shedding. This particular stage can feel intensely raw, like stripping away layers of old skin, exposing sensitive new growth underneath. It's a process of profound release, where you will awaken to the astonishing realization of just how much extraneous energy you have been unconsciously yet diligently carrying that was never, ever truly yours. This includes the heavy emotional moods of other people, their unspoken expectations that you somehow fulfill their desires, their unconscious projections of their own shadows onto you, and their subtle, often manipulative, energetic demands. You absorbed all of this, not because you were weak, but precisely because you are exquisitely sensitive, because you possessed an innate capacity, an expansive, energetic field that could stretch and contain. Because somewhere, deep in your early conditioning, you learned, perhaps subtly, perhaps overtly, that being adaptable, being the accommodating one, kept the waters calmer, prevented conflict, and ensured a fragile sense of peace. You were conditioned to be a human sponge. But consider the mighty river in its majestic, unceasing flow. Does it carry every single stone, every piece of debris, every fallen leaf it encounters along its arduous path to the sea? No. The river, in its inherent wisdom and sovereign power, releases what is not fundamentally part of its destined course, what does not serve its forward momentum. It sheds the unnecessary, knowing that to hold on to everything would impede its true flow. And so, with grace, with courage, and with profound self-love you will begin to release those energetic burdens that were never truly yours to carry, allowing your own pure current to flow unimpeded. In this powerful phase of reclamation, you may start uttering simple sentences, seemingly innocuous phrases, that carry the profound power to change absolutely everything. These are not declarations of war, but declarations of truth. I can't do that. A clear, unambiguous boundary, spoken without apology. I need time. A sacred request for space, honoring your own rhythm. That doesn't work for me. A direct statement of misalignment, an assertion of your personal truth. I'm not available for this conversation. A protective measure for your energetic field, a refusal to engage in draining dynamics, and perhaps the most potent, most liberating of all. I love you, and I'm still choosing myself. A radical act of self-love, demonstrating that compassion for others does not require self-abandonment. Notice the absence of drama in these statements. There is no cruelty, no harshness, no need for a lengthy sermon or an exhaustive justification. There is simply, purely and powerfully clarity, an undeniable luminous clarity that emanates from the core of your being, shining a light on your truth and illuminating your sovereign space. And finally, dear soul, you reach the serene and liberating phase where the relentless concept of timing stops haunting you. The oppressive belief that you are perpetually late for your own life, that you are somehow lagging behind an imaginary schedule, finally dissolves. You stop apologizing with a quiet inner grace for the utterly natural pace of your own profound growth, recognizing that spiritual evolution unfolds in its own organic rhythm, impervious to external deadlines. You cease the exhausting, fruitless bargaining with your own inherent exhaustion, understanding that it is a sacred messenger, not an enemy to be conquered. You begin to see with luminous clarity the profound wisdom in this. The tide, the majestic, powerful, and utterly unstoppable tide, was never ever meant to be forced. It cannot be cajoled, hurried, or commanded. The tide simply arrives when it arrives, in its own divine and perfect timing, bringing with it all that is meant to be. And so too will your unfolding. There is nothing to rush, nothing to push, only to allow the natural rhythm of your being to unfold. Now, listen closely. Lean in with your heart, because this is the profound truth that the insidious grip of guilt has been diligently trying to hide from you, obscuring it behind layers of self-doubt and fear. This is the reframe that will set your spirit free. You are not, in any meaningful sense, becoming distant. You are not withdrawing your love or your presence from the world. Instead, with every boundary honored, every truth spoken, every energetic reclamation, you are becoming profoundly defined. You are solidifying the sacred contours of your being, clarifying the unique and exquisite blueprint of your soul, making your essence unmistakable. You are becoming a vessel of pure, delineated light. The people who have, perhaps unconsciously, benefited most profoundly from your previously blurred and permeable boundaries will inevitably perceive and label your newfound clarity as cold. They will misunderstand your discernment as disinterest, your energetic protection as a lack of warmth. The ones who have grown accustomed to, and perhaps even relied upon, your consistent acts of self-abandonment will, without fail, call your sacred self-respect selfish. They will mistake your integrity for narcissism, your honoring of self for a disregard of others. And those individuals who could, in the past, access you anytime, without prior consideration or respect for your energetic availability, will inevitably feel unsettled, perhaps even aggrieved, when you become less constantly reachable, when your presence is no longer perpetually at their disposal. Their discomfort is not a testament to your flaw. It is a mirror reflecting their own unexamined expectations and patterns of energetic consumption. But understand this fundamental truth. Your precious, vital energy is not a public well, accessible to all who choose to draw from it without respect or reciprocity. It is not an endless communal resource to be siphoned, negotiated, or constantly proven worthy of. Your frequency, the unique vibration of your soul, is sacred. It is not meant to be diluted, drained, or constantly justified to others. Protecting it, setting up those clear, shimmering boundaries, is not an act of separation or exclusion. It is, in its purest essence, a profound act of alignment. Alignment with your highest self, alignment with divine truth, alignment with the very essence of your being. Consider the ancient wise builders by the majestic Nile, who understood this principle intrinsically, weaving it into the quiet, powerful geometry of their magnificent temples. A structure, they knew, remains strong, resilient and enduring, not because it allows every single element or influence to enter and compromise its integrity, but precisely because it deeply honors its original, sacred design, upholding its boundaries and maintaining its structural integrity against all external forces. Your soul is a temple. Honor its divine design. You possess the profound capacity to love someone deeply, fiercely, with an expansive heart, and still, consciously and with unwavering integrity, choose not to merge your entire being with theirs, maintaining the sacred space of your individuality. You can care for others, extend compassion and empathy, and yet still vigilantly keep your own shorelines intact, preventing your precious inner waters from being endlessly encroached upon or eroded by their tides. You can embody profound compassion, radiating empathy and understanding, without allowing yourself to become the exhaustive container for another person's unexamined density, their unresolved emotions, or their unaddressed energetic burdens. Your compassion is a light, not a sponge. And if you've been feeling a pervasive, bone-deep exhaustion, a weariness that permeates every layer of your being, it may well be because you have been valiantly yet futilely attempting to carry the entire emotional weather system of people who, for various reasons, refuse to look directly at their own skies, to address their own inner climates, or to take responsibility for their own energetic landscapes. You have been holding space that was never meant for you to fill alone. But I tell you, with the force of this undeniable truth, that ends now. It does not end with dramatic confrontation, with fiery arguments, or with any sense of punishment or vindictiveness. It ends quite simply with a quiet yet profound return to your sacred center. It concludes with the gentle yet resolute act of allowing the turbulent waters within you to become still enough, utterly placid, perfectly reflective, to finally and unequivocally mirror back to you the pure, unvarnished truth of your own being, undistorted by external influences. This stillness is your sanctuary, your source of unerring guidance. Tonight, if it resonates deep within your soul, if it feels right and true, I invite you to place a hand, gently yet firmly, over your beautiful, beating heart. Feel its rhythm, its profound connection to your essence, and then, quietly, with intentionality, whisper or speak aloud these sacred affirmations, allowing their truth to permeate every cell of your being. I choose clean currents. I release what is not mine. I honor the shorelines of my soul. Repeat these words, allowing them to anchor this new energetic reality within you. You do not need everyone in your life to understand this profound shift, this sacred recalibration. Their comprehension is not a prerequisite for your liberation. You only need one thing, one paramount validation. You only need your precious spirit to feel utterly safe, completely secure, and deeply at home inside your own magnificent vessel. And it will. It already is beginning. Before you go, leave one word in the comments, just one, that describes what you felt during this message. Then find someone else's word and respond with encouragement. This isn't just a comment section, it's a space where starseeds recognize each other. And that recognition carries more power than you know. If something in this message touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you'd like to keep receiving these transmissions, subscribe. The waters of Sirius will carry us to the next one. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your space, and I'm grateful you were here.